The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Are you ready to take a journey? Let's connect with the healers of the world. It's that time. It's time for the Language of Healing on W4WN Radio and Talk 4 TV. Now here's your host, Dr. Nicole Fortin.
Hello, hello. Another episode of the Language of Healing. Hello.
And here's your guest.
Here's your guest.
Yeah, me. I'm the guest. You're the host. I'm the co-host, guest, whatever you want to call me. I'm whatever you want to call me.
Okay. Well, we can start with your name, Dean, aka the Pipe Man Piper.
That's me.
The legend himself.
Yep, legend in my own mind.
Yeah, aren't we all?
But shouldn't we all be though?
Yeah, because if you don't believe in yourself, then
why should anybody else believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? You know?
Yeah. Beat at the own beat of your drum. No. Walk at the own beat of your drum.
And I have a question for our great engineer here. Can you hear that right now? Can you hear that, Nicole?
What am I hearing?
No. Can't hear anything.
There's somebody drilling above my head with a jackhammer.
Oh, wow.
So I want to know if I need to change the settings so that you don't hear that. But if you don't hear that, and you ask me that question, it's rather loud. So believe me, you would know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's good sound proofing from your earbuds.
It may be because it sounds like a very loud massager. And like I don't mean that. Okay, don't laugh like that. I mean, like I have a massager that I put on my neck.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes that sound.
The massage gun.
This is like 50 times louder than that.
Wow. They must be doing some heavy duty construction.
They've been doing it for 3 years. It's ridiculous. It's funny because nobody else would be able to handle this but me. Like, literally, I could guarantee you most people hearing this wouldn't be able to function. Me, I've been married twice, so I learned how to tune it out.
You know what that always reminds me, like loud noises, is like that movie Noise. Have you seen that with Nicolas Cage?
I have not seen that, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. There's always noise and he's like so irritated, there's a car going off,
I'm
car alarm.
Irritated. It's just like, there's nothing I can do about it. That's why I don't get irritated. Like, if you can't do anything about it, why get irritated? Who does that affect? Only one person, yourself. Mm-hmm. Figure a way to cope. I'm a big believer that no matter what happens to you in life, coping skills, whatever coping skill works for you. What works for you may not work for me. Find the one that does work for you.
Yeah.
That's my viewpoint.
Yeah, I like that because it kind of segues into, something I wanted to touch on today is when things are out of your control. Things are happening and, like life happens. It's not always fun and pleasant. And, how do you cope and manage and deal with the bitterness of life as well as the joy?
I'll tell you what my coping tool is. I just make fun of Rebel. Makes me feel better.
Oh, laughter is. You just put the other people down. You punch down. Is that what they call it?
No, I don't put her down. I just make fun of her.
Okay.
At her own level.
Yeah, it's poking fun. It's amicable.
But
amicable humor. I think when you're like good and close friends, like laughter and poking fun at each other and your ability to laugh at yourself and others is a healthy, lighthearted.
Well, like, look, she was laughing. So she couldn't control what I said, but she can control her reaction to it. And that's what's important. I think people sometimes they need to change their focus away from the thing that is irritating them or depressing them or any of those things, those negative emotions, and they should take the control back to themselves and control how they feel about it.
Yeah, and that's what the language of healing is all about, is learning how to master your energy, your chi, your emotions. And this is very interesting. You said those two words. I wanted to also kind of talk about impatience and depression. Well, you didn't say impatience. You said
but I did say depression, but impatience is another thing, but that's one of my things.
Irritable. No, what did you say? Sorry, my listening skills.
Any negative
Rebel, what did he say?
Any negative emotion, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have a negative reaction to something that happens. Now, the fact that she laughed when I just said what I did before, that tells you that she wasn't worried about what I said or what I did. She only took control of her reaction to it, and she decided it's funny. Now, other people might not decide it's funny, but how does it benefit them? Like, if you have enough confidence and security within yourself, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says.
Right.
But I want to ask you a question,
internal.
Dr. Fortin. I have a question for you. So, how would you recommend to people that are listening right now, watching right now, how they take back control?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, first step, is always the stop, the pause, the big breath. You have to come back to center. When something takes you off center and you're triggered or you are reactive, and if you're lucky enough to catch that reaction, right? Because I think we do a lot of things out of habit and pattern and we don't really realize. And the key to it is not about getting rid of that. It's just about the awareness around it. So you take back control by controlling your breath. Actually, the breath is the most amazing thing because it connects the unconscious and the conscious. Yeah. Cue heavy breathing.
That's what it said on my teleprompter. I don't know.
Right. I'm Ron Burgundy. Yeah.
And you're not.
I don't know. I know. Sorry, Ackerman is.
There is only there is one podcast I would promote outside of our network, and that's it. Because that's some funny crap. See, look at Ron Burgundy's attitude towards everything that happens to him. He takes control of his mindset, his attitude towards it, and makes everything a positive, happy thing.
Yeah. That's the role of the pericardium, is like the jester. Brings light, and that's like the comedian in general. They bring hard to touch subjects and make light of it, and bring humor to it. If you can, because actually laughter from a chi and energy perspective relaxes things. Like say, for example, the opposite would be, well, not the opposite, but another counterpart would be fear. And that's a very sinking energy. Sink. Like people will, pee their pants if they're scared to, right? Like sink. Or worry is really nodding energy.
I have a question.
Just constricts.
Let's go to that one, because worry is one of my big ones. But have you ever peed your pants?
Oh, for sure.
Anybody that says they haven't is lying. So for all you people watching out there that are like, oh, I wouldn't want anybody to know I peed my pants. Everybody walking the face of the earth has peed their pants at one time or another. Some more than others, right, Rebel?
Let us know. I don't know.
So, but seriously, I'm saying that because
so the one who smelt it dealt it, right?
Yeah, well, no. So people think of certain things as embarrassing, and if the whole world just knew that it was a lot more normal and happen to a lot more people than we think, then some of those embarrassing negative feelings we could take control of as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we internalize that, you know. I'll admit sometimes things will make me feel like embarrassed, or then it, you know, turns to shame or something like not right or not right with you. It's a, you know, I think that is like an internal battle because a lot of the times people on the outside won't really see it like that. Like it's not a big deal, right? So I think that is up to us. But, you know, guilt and shame, aren't those the, you know, original sins or something like that? But
Yeah. How is that a sin?
feelings that I don't know. This is a, you know, I think
Well,
because
no, I'm
it does
serious
injure the
because if
body.
you're
It does
feeling
injure the
guilty,
body. Yeah, I think it's a sin because it's like goes against our inherent, you know, wisdom. Like it's like our being is perfect. You know, we're all created whole, perfect, resourceful, and doing the best that we can with what we have. So to go to doubt that and doubt yourself, doubt the, you know, your life, it injures the body. I think that's the sin, right? I think for me is like if it's a sin versus what's the opposite of a sin? Would be
uh, a mitzvah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Well, everybody thinks that means good deed, and generally it is good deeds that are a mitzvah. But a mitzvah, the actual real definition of that is it's a commandment. A commandment,
Mm.
since we're talking about stuff like that. Okay, so I think that's a big difference between Judaism and Christianity. Christianity tends to prey on fear and guilt and and Jews, the fear thing, no, that's not. We don't even have in Hebrew a word called sin. There is no such word.
Mm.
It's called
Cool.
missing the mark because we're all human beings and we're never going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make stupid decisions. We're going to do bad things. You know, that doesn't make us a bad person. It just makes us human. Okay. And so and there is no such thing in Judaism as this, you know, cartoon character we call Satan. Satan. And, you know, we don't know of any hell.
Mm.
Nobody, no. But I will say something. I want to say something before I forget about something you said before. And okay, so it's kind of like if you're not centered. Here's what I was thinking when you were saying this, and a lot of people in 2024 could relate to this. If you're on your GPS going somewhere, have you ever been in that situation where you're looking for something on the GPS and then you don't recenter the GPS again, and the next time you look up, you like you feel like you're lost, you don't know where you are because it's not showing, it's showing somewhere else, and you're like, "Oh my god, I made the wrong turn," or something like that. And really, the solution to that problem is what? You click the button that says to recenter it. And then it brings you back into focus of where you're
Mhm.
going and what your mission is.
Ugh, that's a great analogy.
Right?
I love that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
because
I forgot what I was talking about before that, but we had to get that in. 5 minutes from now, when we're talking about something else, I'll remember what we were talking about now.
well, we were talking about mitzvah as opposed to, you know,
I knew
this.
that, but you
Oh,
should have
okay.
played along.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, I mean,
Rebel, right? You
the
would have
one
played
time I was
along.
listening.
Rebel, you would have played along with that, wouldn't you, Rebel?
Absolutely.
Rebel knows. That's
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
never
that's like, yeah, that's
I never
experience right there.
forget stuff like that. Like I'll bring it back. I'll bring it up 20 minutes later.
Okay.
By the
All right. Well,
way,
I'm still new in this, you know,
you're not
reading the
new.
room.
You're
You
not
just
The
need
new.
hype man.
to you just need to tighten his reins just a little bit on him.
Yeah,
Because
see, you don't
Well,
he'll
have
do it
enough.
to you.
yeah,
Speaking of
I know, I
control, you
know.
don't have enough control on me.
It's true. That's true. I
But
think even in the opening, you're always
but I do
at
want
the
to
pace.
know. very important. This is very
Okay.
important. Okay.
Right.
I do want to know what you were saying about worry, because we were talking about that next, and I hate worry. Worry is one of my least favorite things on the planet, next to, some other things.
Okay, what do you not like about worry?
Well, because I think too many people spend too much time and energy worrying about things that may or may not ever happen, number one, or things that don't affect their life in any way, shape, or form, and they get obsessed about it. I think it's negative energy that is so unnecessary, inhibits you, doesn't get you where you want to be, and a lot of times it's just you get yourself sick over nothing. Like, how many times do people worry about something because they got a call from somebody that might have been a bad call, but they don't answer the call and they don't answer the text and they're like ignoring it, and because they're worried about it's something bad. And then they waste all this time feeling like this, and then they finally find out it was just maybe some good news, and that happens all the time. Or people that, you know, they're, as a for instance, and if she listens to this, and if it ends up a reel, she'll definitely see it. But one of my children, I'll put it that way, one of my children had an issue recently with a vehicle. Now, it's good that I'm saying one of my children, because more than one of my children had a issue with a vehicle, so now I'm covered. They don't know who I'm talking about. Okay, but one of my
Who taught
children
them how to drive?
Say that again?
Who taught them how to drive?
Um, probably me, but it might not be me. I don't remember.
You don't remember.
What does
How
the
convenient.
driving have to do with it? I didn't say they
Everything?
were driving the vehicle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They had a problem
Right.
with the vehicle.
Okay, problem with the vehicle. Okay.
No, I'm just busting on you, but it is true. So basically what happened is they were like, oh my God, now I'm going to have to get a whole new vehicle, blah, 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 blah. It's definitely not something small, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why don't you worry about that when you actually find that out? Like this is what people do. It's very common. It's very common. People sit there and they build up this story in their mind that, could be true, but it's the worst case scenario. Like, I'd rather build up a story of the best case scenario in my mind. I'd rather put that out into the universe. Okay. Because that's how you get those things. And the other way is how you do get worse things. So basically, what ended up happening is it was something very, very simple, like a switch. And that was it. And so my point is, for maybe about a week, there was all kinds of stress, which is bad for your health, all kinds of negativity, all kinds of worry, all over something that was small stuff. And that book, what's the name of
Don't
it? Do you
sweat
know
it.
the name of it?
Don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff.
That's right. And to me,
Yeah.
that is what worry is. Worry is a major, what does it ever accomplish? It doesn't
Okay, I'll
solve
tell
the
you
problem.
what it does accomplish.
Okay, let's hear that. I
Because
want to know that from you.
yeah, because there is a healthy dose of worry. It is there for a reason, because
Okay.
it does put, and maybe I think this could even become like a difference, almost a difference between men and women, because worry allows you to I don't know, almost have a sense of humility that anything could happen, like you just prepare yourself for every possibility, you know? And
Now, see,
so
I don't
there's a
say
part
if you
of
don't
that.
worry. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't say if
No.
you don't worry that you don't prepare for every possibility. Like if
Right.
something bad's happened in my life, I prepare for every possibility. I just don't sit there and worry about it because I
Yeah.
can't control what the outcome is. I can control what I do to get to that outcome. So
Yeah.
that's
So that I think that's like maybe the initial, okay, but after you like you stop, you pause, you take a breath. Maybe your first instinct is to worry excessively, like expand it because now this event has happened, and then we're talking also about everything from the past that is, conditioned you to have a thing, a reaction or a
mhm,
response. Um,
agreed.
there's a lot tied to that, but in an aspect that it does serve the purpose. So, but then you can take it down a little notch, go inside, recenter yourself, because in the center you have a lot more possibility. You can, it's like the eight points. When you're center, you can move in 8 different directions. So at least you have 8 possibilities. Even just put that, just wonder about that. Like, what if, right? That there's all these
Now
other
the way
things that
you
could
put it
happen.
made perfect sense because to me that's not worry. That's
Mm.
just
Yeah, that would be a
something
healthy way to respond to
right.
worry, because worry is going to be there like that, and I think it's healthy. But when you go into the obsessive, um, it's like a count. It's an opposite cycle. It's a
Well,
destructive
that's
cycle.
where worry leads to the excessive. See,
Yeah,
in my viewpoint of it, what you just described is not worry. It's just a bad situation happened. You have to evaluate what the worst case scenario is up to the best case scenario and be prepared for all of it. That's not worry.
mhm,
To me, worry is only focusing on the bad part of it and it consuming your thoughts and
yeah,
to the point where you say, well, I'm not going to try this because I know it won't work.
yeah.
That's the worry
Because
I talk about.
yeah, no, and I think that's like a very common thing that people get into. So
Yeah, it
there's
is.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, based on like, past experiences and attitude a little bit, right? Like how you the coping mechanisms, like you just said,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
and it like maybe triggers a little bit of, fear, because in some, even in Chinese medicine, 5 elements, like the worry, if you have a lot of worry, it will affect your water, your kidney, your survival instincts. So it's like, weak and weak, and then it will tax your whole system, that stress, and it will eat your digestive system out,
Yeah.
like a lot of the IBS and digestive problems we see can come from that. um I don't know, I wanna say, like, lack of ability to, like, nurture self, because that's also what, like, the earth or the center is, it represents, like, our ability to grow and nurture food, like, we plant gardens, and the soil, it's the soil of our body. So if we don't have good soil and digestion, this is where, like, the gut and the mind really connect, because, that can play a part in it. So I don't know if that answers any of your questions,
It
but
absolutely
we're
does. That's all.
yeah,
To me, that's all a wealth of information I think people need to know. And I think
uh,
your spin on the worry thing. See, to me too, like you're talking about worry and fear. To me, worry is a tool of fear because
yeah,
worry
yeah,
always leads to fear. So to me, worry isn't being sensible and like knowing that bad things can happen and trying to prepare for that. Worry is making those bad things worse to me.
yeah, and and worry and anxiety are really closely related in my perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, if we can relate that even to, like, say, the summer season right now, which is the heart, heart pericardium, that we're just kind of, showcasing, but that's the mother element of the earth, of and a unbalanced earth is the anxiety, the worry, even the apathy, the what's it all for, like the complete apathy to life, right? So not nurturing, it's like complete disconnect from your center. So we need a healthy heart also as an extra extension to that, to really support our earth. Like, and that can be, finding passions in things, and getting more in tune with your intuition, and trusting yourself. And and I like to call up upon the unseen allies, like our spiritual posse. That's how I see, there's a whole gang of support out there. And so if you do encounter a place where you have a lot of worry or anxiety, there is something quite like releasing and relaxing about laughing and spreading that, freeing up that energy. Because if you worry and then energy is knotted in your stomach, people like describe that, it's like they can't eat, because it's like everything is closed off in the center.
And that's
And then
why I
yeah,
think the worry is such an issue, because it affects you
yeah.
negatively in so many ways. And
Hmm.
I want to know what IRS is.
IRS.
Yeah, you said IRS before.
Oh gosh, I did not say that, but I probably mumbled
No,
my words.
no, what you really said was IBS.
Oh,
But I thought of IRS because it's kind of the same
the
as
tax
IBS.
people?
No, not the tax people, but that could go along with IBS too. But I
Yeah,
was thinking
that's like
about
a huge stress.
I was thinking about irritable rebel syndrome.
No. You got a rumble in the rebel.
So, Rebel, were you not
Yes.
hearing that before? I just went into my settings and I changed things to make it kill the background noise. You mean to tell me you guys weren't hearing that at all? That
No.
was
No.
because and how's it sound now? Because I put on take out background noise because I don't know. It
I
might
still
show up.
don't hear anything.
Well, now you won't because I took out the background noise because it
But I
could
didn't
happen
hear
in the
anything to
recording.
begin with.
Yeah,
Yeah, did
Tell me,
sounds like
Pipe Man, do you still hear the noise?
I do. Yeah, it's like Hannibal Lecter's drilling into my brain to have lunch.
You might want to get that checked.
But and see, that would be an unnecessary worry right there. But there's people that actually think that extreme. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Oh my God. The world is going to end tomorrow. Oh my God. Did you see that performance of Gojira at the Olympics? See, that's Satan and the Illuminati, and that signals the end of Earth.
That's
That's
tomorrow.
unnecessary worry.
That's tomorrow.
It is, but
Yeah,
that's a
that's what you guys are going to
prelude.
talk about on
That's
the
a
Adventures of Pipe
prelude.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
part of what we're going to talk
I
about.
I want to
But
be in on that conversation. It's
Dr.
very
Fortin,
interesting.
Dr. Fortin is a Gojira fan, so
Yeah, I mean, I
right?
think that was pretty awesome. Like, that riff, it's just I love it. The energy, and I mean, it was pretty cool to see. Actually, I saw the replay. I missed the actual original opening ceremony, which is very hard to find, by the way. I haven't. I have a friend that
Yeah, it was very
PVR'd it.
hard. I picked up my remote and I said, Olympic opening ceremony. And you know what came up? The Olympic opening ceremony. It took like 2
What?
seconds.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's maybe where we run into some differences between Canada and the US, because you think we are like your little sister, but we're like your PG-13 sister, where we don't
No,
get access to a lot of things.
you're like our little
Is that on?
annoying. No, you're like our little annoying brother that apologizes all the time after doing something.
I think that would be like more sister-like activity. No?
Maybe. I don't know what you saying. Women say they're sorry more than men.
I think so. I think so.
Is that why when I say sorry to women, it happened to me just recently, and they go, "Oh my God, a man that actually apologizes and
Yeah, if you can
admit when they're wrong."
Mhm. Yeah, you
I
could
do too.
if that
Except
feels from the heart, it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's
I'll admit when
nice to
I'm
hear."
wrong, because otherwise, how is anything else you say valid if you can't admit when you're wrong or incorrect or whatever it is. I think in order to have to help people by whatever it is, guiding them, advice, coaching, or whatever, you have to show that you're real too. So, like, listen, we all worry, but how much do you let it affect your life? Okay. What were the other things we're talking about that are those kind of emotions that we have to have like the coping tools for? What other ones?
Well, we talked, a little bit about the fear too. So
Fear.
but yeah.
What else do we want to talk about though?
Well, and I would say like one thing about maybe the anxiety or the worry would be a good counterbalance or a good productive activity would have like clarity, a clear plan, like some structure. So, and that puts things into like a reality check. Like you have to reality check yourself. This is what happened. This is, the current circumstance. This is these are the resources I have available. Like what can I, you have to get kind of creative, a little bit playful. Like it's like the soil. Like what do you want to, it's like clay. Like what do you want to form and create?
And when you have a clear plan, you spend a lot less time and energy focusing on worrying about the problem.
Yeah, because there's kind of like a bit of a path laid out, so it's easy to follow and step along with, because the worry anxiety can be, well, what is that saying? It's like it's about worrying about the future or something like that. Isn't it? I know there's the saying and I should probably know this by heart, but
Rebel knows. Rebel knows, she'll tell you.
No, why do I know it?
I know
I don't know.
It's a saying, and it's like the old ancient master turtle from the Kung Fu Panda movie says it. He's like, I don't know, something about the present being a present because it's here and now. And anyways, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's like it's the worry about the future. So having a bit of a plan or getting in touch with your intention, right? And then if you have a strong and clear,
how about yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
See?
That's what the turtle said. It was okay, and then I was also thinking about a different quote, so I'm just all jumbled up today.
I'm trying to think of what quote that is. I'm gonna look it up. What's the quote?
Like, well, just like, maybe depression is about the past, anxiety is about the future, and
well, actually, that's pretty good right there because that is on point.
Yeah, that's the general. Yeah, so and in the middle of those two things, this is what's really cool, and what I love about Eastern medicine and all of these philosophies and ways of approaching life, because it's like a different perspective. That in between that depression and anxiety is the heart, and the heart and the pericardium, and it feeds and nourishes and takes from pericomo. Maybe that's the key to life.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
If you call the
music, well,
it's and pericomo is like tranquil.
Yeah, it's like it is, it's whatever brings tranquility to you, and about finding peace. Yeah. Hey, what I was listening to, this is a little tangent-y, but also on the W4WN. We are the Women for Women Network. So I just wanted to say, yeah, I've been tuning into Nancy Deutsch. Okay, that's how I would say it, but I don't know if that's like, I really enjoy her show, and I was tuning in a little bit today, and it's Inspired and Empowered Living, I believe is the name of her show. She's also on the W4WN network.
She's been on for quite a long time.
Yeah, like, I don't know, her message today I felt really resonant with, because she was talking about still point, and I love that word because it means so much to me. But like, that's that's a key, that's like the golden nugget to life, is like ability to reach still point or find peace. Like let your waters calm down and be able to, I think the pipe man's frozen. That's
no,
distracting.
I'm in still point. I'm in still point.
Oh my God. It was so good that a little humor. I love it. Thanks for bringing that element to the show.
He said still point, so I went into still point, like the Flash. I was the Flash in still point.
Wow, you were moving so fast, like nothing. Yeah.
Rebel, did you think I was frozen too?
I started to after a moment. I had to really look at you, but your arm was blending into the background, so I didn't think so. But you got us there. I just want to tell you, Pipe Man, you got us there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay, well,
that was great. Funny. I wish I was a fly on the wall for that one, but I was in still point.
Well, yeah, luckily you can watch the replay.
Yeah, right? Oh, that's going to be funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Yes.
So let's talk about deeper relationships, spiritual connections. I think those go hand in hand.
They do. I believe that when you can tune in, like I was saying last week, that the heart is the emperor or the empress of the body, to be really close. And, you hear about the mind-body connection. And what I really took away from Kate Michaels, like the amazing legend that she is, was that, we often forget about the heart as a component. And, and it's like, but that's the beat maker. That's your song. That's your rhythm. That's your, to be connected to that also with your mind and your body is, there you go. Can you feel?
Did I throw you off there?
Oh, for sure. It's like, your unwritten, I guess, role that I did not agree to. Yeah. Like you're supposed to help me rein me in, okay? However,
I did. I want to hear about deeper spiritual connections, deeper relationships, how they coincide and how they don't.
Well, I mean, what's connected to your heart would be, I think, things from like how you want to rule your terrain, your life, your world, because we do have control over certain
I don't
aspects.
think my heart is the empress. I think my heart is Benedict Arnold.
Okay.
Do people up in Canada, do you know what Benedict Arnold stands for?
No, I can't say I do.
He was the treasonous person during the Revolutionary War of our country.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's the traitor.
Or in other words, he went against his own side. So the relevance there would be his heart. The pipe man's heart is going against him.
Yeah. My heart is a traitor.
Okay. That's interesting twist of events.
I bet a lot of people feel that way, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's a very human element. We see that story in a lot of, I think, of Star Wars. It's like the Anakin's dilemma. That's like, before he turns to Darth Vader. It's like a choice, it's.
I would have turned to Darth Vader sooner if I was him.
Yeah.
They got better perks.
Forget this love stuff.
The dark side has better perks. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that is maybe the temptation around it, right? Like it depends on what cycle. I mean, even we talk about the 5-pointed star, like it can go in a certain direction and be generative, and it can be opposite direction and it can be destructive. And that's the difference between witches and sorcerers. It's like the difference between light and dark.
I like this nature. Animation here. It's like,
very. I mean, it's just interesting. I get animated when I'm passionate about something.
I like it. No, I like it. That's good stuff right there.
I think that like this to me encompasses a lot of like the work that I do and how I even deal with life, because you know, you take the bitter with the sweet, and somehow you have to navigate those waters. And the
You
more
know
that
what
you can
I
be
do?
centered, and what? Just take
I take the bitter with the sweet, and I have a symphony.
Bittersweet. Bittersweet.
Rebel, do you know what that means?
Nope, not a clue.
Yeah. What a loser.
Yeah.
Okay.
A clue.
It's a song, Rebel. It's a song.
I gathered that.
That's, yeah. I mean, that's how you, and bittersweet chocolate. Oh, speaking of chocolate, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now you have my
Yes.
attention.
Are you listening
now? You have
now?
my attention. Yeah. Now I'm fully into this show. Like now I would say
Okay.
something, but I'm not.
I don't have all my facts straight, so just be easy on me, internet trolls.
I'm not going to be easy on you. I don't know why you expected I would. So go ahead.
But there's something about
Mary?
high percentage, right? Yeah. There's something about high percentage cacao in chocolate, right? Like dark chocolate, and it triggers something in the heart that is very unique. It's like the only thing that really, it's like the beta somethings. I should know this, but it's been a while. I'm a little
Beta
rusty.
somethings. Is that the scientific term?
No, I'm not gonna say it is.
It may be somewhere. Don't let him do that to you. Yes, it may be. It may be
it's good for your
language
heart
somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it good for your heart like beans, or what's it good?
I don't think
the
so.
magical fruit.
Okay. But it is good for your heart.
It's good for your heart. So anyway,
and they
that's
have
like
these
the bittersweet
cacao ceremonies.
Yeah, because maybe that's what unlocks a little bit of openness in the heart, because we can okay, this is an interesting thing in my clinical experience and working with amazing teachers over the years. One that talked about how disease enters our body, or how we get old, how we age, like how we let things kind of take us down. And it first enters here, like right under the clavicle. So this is also the point, like the thymus, or where Tarzan, like beats his chest. Like that's for a reason. That's for like a purpose, to activate some of those, like that energy, because our heart actually carries a whole toroidal energy field. It's its own brain, right? Maybe you've heard about that, but I mean, this goes back to like, yeah, just the importance of the heart, and maybe the missing link between the body and the mind. And so when we have that open and clear, but when we close it off, and maybe some of us can experience a broken or a closed off heart, and just like it's like shields, right? So then what's like our kingdom isn't really interacting with the world as much, or we're not, maybe we're also shaken, so we're not really as centered as much, and then we just close off in an attempt to protect ourselves, right? So that's maybe a coping mechanism. It might be useful for that time being, but eventually we have to open up a little bit. Otherwise it enters through here, and then we hunch forward, and then it gets us in the gut, and then we hunch forward more, and then it gets us in the pelvis, and then we're fully hunched. And just think about your energy field. Yeah, I know. Good try, Pipe.
He was trying to enter the fetal position.
I was trying to get you guys again with the freezing.
Yeah, no, I'm catching on to your antics here.
But then I lost my poker face. And
I know.
I totally broke character.
Mm-hmm. Even with your sunglasses on, we can still see right through you. Ooh. Okay, the unraveling will come soon enough.
Here. I'll tell you what. Is this better?
Wouldn't it be funny if he took off a pair of glasses and just had another pair of glasses under there?
Yeah.
I have been known to do that, haven't I, Rebel?
Yep.
Really? Oh, that's funny. That's good. That's I know you personally have had like a couple heart issues, right? But I think your joyful spirit and childlike attitude to life is, a good way to go. And they say that
Good way
after,
to go.
like,
What way is that to word it? Like, all I heard was
it's a
is
good way to
like,
go.
okay, that was a good way to go. See ya. Like
I mean,
I'm leaving the earth. It's a good way to go.
no, I don't
Have a
I
couple
don't mean
heart
that.
attacks. Have a couple heart attacks. Honestly, after
I
2
didn't
heart
mean it like
attacks, you're
that. I know
required to
you know
wear
that.
sunglasses.
Sorry, say that again. I cut you off.
After 2 heart attacks, you're required to wear sunglasses.
Okay. You can do whatever you want. I
Said
mean,
no
this is the
doctor
whole
ever.
Yeah.
No, that's according to the National Pee Screening Association.
And you made this up when?
The P screening.
No, it's the Screening
PSA.
Association for streaming video.
Okay.
It's in the rules, Rebel. Look it up. Look it up. It's in the rules.
Yeah, how about that?
I told you to keep updated with the rules, okay?
And that's the legitimate rules, not the ones that you just feel that you want to make up, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Nicole. What about that
Thanks.
spiritual connection? Speaking of cacao.
Well, okay, spiritual connection. The heart is is every organ, like say we have 5 main organs, just 5 or 6 depending on how you look at it. Each organ has
which are the 6 main organs?
Okay, we have the heart, the pericardium, which would be
next time
another
I
one.
come on this earth, I can do without that one. Next, the
How
heart, then
come?
what?
Have you not been listening to any of the amazingness of the pericardium?
I
Like, why would
love
you
the
just opt out?
pericardium. I love the
You can't.
pericomo. I want the pericomo next time, just nothing, no heart.
Okay.
Next trip on Earth.
That's like you want to be the Tin Man?
No, he wants a heart.
Oh,
I
he
want to
wants
be
that
the
he
one to
doesn't.
give him mine. Here, you can have mine.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to hear this
No,
next
but
bit?
seriously, I do want to hear you.
We have the heart and the pericardium, and that's the fire element. Okay, and then we have the spleen, earth element. We have the lungs.
I have a question, serious question. So what happens if you have some kind of accident and they want to pull out your spleen? How does that affect you in what you're talking about?
That's a good
If
question.
Western medicine decides to pull your spleen out.
Yeah, you'll still have the meridian systems and the energetics. It's like Kirlian photography. Are you familiar with that? It's like there's a famous image of a leaf, and they took you can take the Kirlian photography, I think, is a special way to capture the energetics of a image or a thing. So there's a leaf, and then they cut a section off of the leaf, and then they re-photographed it, and it was still whole. It still has the map, the energetic map, because it's your blueprint. That doesn't ever go away. Like that's, and that's how people with amputated limbs can feel like the phantom pain, because it's
that's where I
still
was going with that.
still energetically there. So you can remove organs. You might, anatomically, physiologically have different functions of other organs will pick it up, right? But energetically, it's still very much there, and we can work on that system and the characteristics.
I think we should speak more about these 6 organs next week, and more about spiritual connection. And you gave a little taste of the organs, okay? But we got the exciting organs.
We're not tasting organs here, okay?
We have the exciting organs coming up, like the liver and
the kidneys.
Yeah, these exciting. Those are the exciting ones that you can eat. Well, liver at least. And I do want to talk about that, because to me it sounds like not very healthy to eat liver, but yet it's made to be healthy. Don't answer that. Let's talk about that next week on the language of healing, because it'll be on next week. On what day? Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday
at 2
p.m.
p.m.,
Eastern
right? 2
Standard
p.m., right?
Time. Yeah, 2
Eastern
p.m.
time. But if you're in Central Time, it's 1 p.m. then, right?
Yeah, or Mountain noon, Pacific 11 a.m.
What about
And
Bali time?
that's a good question. They're like 16 hours. Is it 16 hours
I think it's 13 hours.
ahead? 13
But
hours
anyway,
ahead.
we gotta go because it's the end of the show. And you tell everybody how they can reach you on socials, the web, how they can hear your past shows, see your past stuff, know everything about you. Go.
Yeah, okay. Language of Healing on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. Language of Healing TV. All the iHeartRadio, Spotify, podcasting platforms, Language of Healing. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Right here on W4WN Radio, right?
Yeah, you got it.
W4WN.com?
Yeah, W4WN.com.
Okay.
Rock on.
Wow, what a show today. And the journey does not stop here. Come travel the world with Nicole every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as together we become more fluent in the language of healing on W4WN Radio and Talk4 TV. See you next week.